hello, and welcome to Beacon Broadcast Tonight. We are back with more breaking news from across the sector with your fabulous host, myself, Xavier, and...
I'm Lupus Kelbrecht. On tonight's broadcast, we bring you all kinds of reports, and has been the case for the last couple of weeks, we apologize for any transmission errors. The Strovacaro comet that impacted into Tellus recently still leaves rippling effects on data transmission throughout Center 0909 sector.
That's right, but hopefully our show today goes off without a hitch. I myself am reporting from Gome, where the 372nd Automacon is set to start very soon. The Ogmala Syndicate have gone all out for this year's convention, and I can't wait to see the crazy tasks automated this year. Grape peeling? Grape peel art? Who knows what it'll be next. How's your past month in your apartment been, Lupus?
Oh, well, it's been fine. If only I could find that pink folder that's gone missing, life would be better. But enough about me. The sector's favourite reporter, Chaz Gusto Prime, is back with a new report this month, as every month.
Can't wait to see what the Children of the Vein correspondent will inform us of this month. And other news, Project Anaziti? Internal documents leaked to the BBTV from the Ogumala Syndicate mention this codename. What is it? I hope to find out more while covering the Automacon.
The assembled Commonwealth today, in further news, announced the Aether Reach, a full presentation later in the broadcast.
And after Gome, I'll be heading into Faye space to investigate reports of a ruin in the sector. We'll be hoping to have some reporting by the end of this broadcast today.
And finally, tensions rising in Center 0909. Do you feel safe? You shouldn't. Really. Be anxious. Do not be calm. Panic, even. I'm terrified. I can't leave. Please, flee if you can.
We'll be back to Beacon Broadcast tonight after a word from our sponsor, the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you.
Become healthier. Become stronger. Become smarter. Become better. At New Eden Gene Bank, we offer plans and opportunities for people like you who want to break their limits and rise to new heights. Visit your local branch today for a consultation. New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Proud sponsors of BBTV.
As always, we here at BBTV thank the New Eden Gene Bank from the Children of the Vein for their generous patronage of our program. Without them, news daily wouldn't be possible. But in other news, welcome to Unrestricted Lorefare. If you're new here and don't know what's going on, I'm Xavier Stordes. You'll find me in the Discord server for Unrestricted Lorefare as Lichmaster98, or I'm currently marked as the GM of our monthly faction turn. And with me today is my co-host, Lupus Kelbrecht, who GMs our Penumbra sessions. You want to introduce yourself any more than that?
Yep, Lupus Kelbrecht, I GM the RPG set in the same universe of our fictional news broadcast today.
And yeah, if you're not aware of that world, welcome to the world of Beacon Space, where we've transformed the Stars Without Numbers faction turn system into a once-a-month multiplayer game where we get together and roll dice and modify things on a spreadsheet, and that happened about 2 weeks ago for our last turn. And today we're catching up to figure out what's happened in the world in fiction as a result of some of those events and other things that have taken place from our factions within the world. We hope you will enjoy today's broadcast, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into the details, as I think that's taking care of all introductions. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Great. Well, as mentioned in our cold open today, the Children of the Veins reporter Chaz Gusto Prime is back with a new updated report. Let's see what they have to say.
This report has been made possible by the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Visit your local branch for a consultation.
Hello, Beacon Space. This is your favorite reporter, Chaz Gusto Prime here, with the latest reporting to you from Moss. In the news today, vain exploratory efforts, the Tellus Comet event, and an update on the personal story regarding my health. For the first story in this cycle, an update on BBTV anchor L. Calbrecht's ongoing legal battle. Due to the comet impact and resulting gravitational glitch, the TTGI station judicial AI in charge of court scheduling, the Honorable George Clouseau, has accelerated Calbrecht's next court date to next week. Bum bum bum. Judge Kangaroo residing. Attempts to correct the error have proven ineffective as Judge Clouseau is currently caught in a looping search subroutine for the, quote, missing pink case file, and will not listen to reason. AI technicians are currently hard at work appeasing Judge Clouseau, but at this time any revised court dates are expected to hold. Not your day, Cal. Next up, the latest from the Vane Expeditionary Fleet, Rites of Spring. Vane surveyors have discovered 2 colonized TL4 worlds in the 0904 system, with reports of distress calls and requests for aids originating from one of the worlds. Surveyors have described evidence of a wide-scale planetary devastation as a result of a catastrophic war that has ravaged the local populace. Upon analysis of the signal traffic from the second world, surveyors discovered a civilization that seemed to be kept in a hibernating state of suspended animation, with citizens living in a dream-like utopian simulation. Further evidence suggests that this utopian tomb world had won a brutal interplanetary war with the neighboring planet, which resulted in the current state of affairs for the sister planet. The second, slightly further world responded with an automated greeting and exposition of the current state of affairs. Vane missionaries are currently in the process of opening lines of communication and aid for this beleaguered system. News from Tellus. Per our sources, the Choir project successfully managed to, quote, capture the comet without causing immediate devastation to colonial infrastructure and personnel. But these side effects have been felt. There are numerous reports filtering in of radiation and atmospheric gases causing a massive climate change event for the planet, while TTGI resources and equipment have suffered heavy damage from secondary damage events. However, in a strangely optimistic press briefing, TTGI officials have reported the comet event would provide substantial terraforming resources and a byproduct effects that would be a boon to their efforts for the foreseeable future, with Administrator Cardinal Blanche reassuring citizens that the project would recover and continue. Speaking personally, I'm disappointed at the handling of events and skeptical of the ongoing efforts of the TTGI project in the wake of the impact. Lastly, the reason I'm reporting from Moss today, listeners. Prior to the Tellus impact, I was contacted by my vein doctor with medical orders to evacuate Tellus due to my fragile sickness. According to medical officials, the choir system used by the TTGI to reduce the effects of the comet impact utilized thousands of warp reactors firing in unison, which may prove lethal to fragile sickness sufferers in the effective range of the energy wave, following a coma and brain death. Fortunately, however, I was already on Moss by the time of the impact, and I'm happy to say that I'm perfectly healthy today and will be returning to Tellus soon for future reports. And that concludes our sector report this cycle. New worlds, old problems, old worlds with new problems. What's in store for the sector next cycle? This has been Chaz Gusto Prime, blipping out.
Thank you, Chaz, for your update. We always appreciate your timely reports. So what do you think, Calbrick? Has the sector's favorite reporter done it again with an enthralling and engaging report?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he will get another award for his wonderful, wonderful reporting that's so much better than mine in every single way.
And perhaps I see why you haven't been responding to my request for comment about your upcoming legal cases, given its date to change. You didn't happen to find that pink case folder, have you?
I found mauve, I found red wine, I found dark red, but no pink.
Some AI subroutines I will never understand. With that, I believe we have a new presentation from the Argyle Syndicate, so thank you to the Children of the Vein for putting together a wonderful report again, and we'll move right along. Today we present an internal memorandum from the assembled leaders of the Alchemala Syndicate over the planetary asset acquisition update to members and affiliated patrons of the Alchemala Syndicate. As many of our stakeholders are no doubt aware, the Syndicate has been meeting with neighboring systems as part of an ongoing project to expand the available research and the test sites available to our researchers as part of the Project Anaziti. For those unfamiliar with the initiative, the project seeks to supply interested parties with novel locations and resources for use in test and development processes. The advances made are then utilized to improve our hunters' ability to effectively locate and engage their quarries. Leadership representatives from planets Q and K have been quite receptive to talks with the Aguamalan representatives, and it is believed that further details regarding their exchanges will be released in the near future. Interest in the two worlds came about due to their climates, variable warm and variable cold respectively, as there has been increased interest in ensuring that both hunter and research representatives have access to dynamic environments for testing and training exercises. For further information on the Syndicate's research initiatives, or if you are interested in contributing to Project Anaziti, please contact your local Syndicate representative. Well,
Thank you very much. Next up, we have a missive from the assembled Commonwealth with an important announcement that was broadcast across their territories to the citizenry earlier today. We will relay that to you now. It reads, Citizens of the Commonwealth, it is my pleasure to announce the establishment of the Aether Reach by the Assembly, a region of space that incorporates all of the assembled Commonwealth's dominions, protectorates, and stellar claims. The Aether Reach is under the full jurisdiction of the Commonwealth Navy. I and the Assembly have authorized the First Space Lord to form a new administration that will oversee the Aether Reach in the name of the Commonwealth. Operations to fully patrol the Aether Reach will begin in the near future, providing protection to all the travelers, residents, and citizens of the Aether Reach. Trade within the region shall operate under Commonwealth law and customs, ensuring that fair trade will be able to flourish. The assembled Commonwealth has prospered in Asta for centuries, but with our influence expanding, it has come time to fully recognize these new systems as integral to the future of the assembled Commonwealth. As such, the symbol of the assembled Commonwealth will be adapted to represent these new systems. 6 new stars will be added, 4 to represent the new colonies in Astyar, Vadonia, System 48, and our still to be colonized claims. Besides, the Star of Ida will stand one more to represent the Protectorate of Mankira Niti, and another to represent the Belter nations of Asta that have for so long stood side by side with the peoples of Idarast. It is my hope that the Aether Reach will one day become a symbol of freedom, prosperity, and safety for all of Beacon Space, a refuge from the hostility of the sector for some, and home to many more. Valaru, Fortune, Assembly, Aethark Tiber I. Now, this is an important announcement indicating an expansion of the assembled Commonwealth's political claims and formalizing their colonization efforts as they continue to explore within Beacon Space. I will take this time at the moment to note that BBTV is entirely neutral on all political matters. However, I will note that BBTV fully supports our sponsors within the assembled Commonwealth who are now part of the Aether Reach.
and we desperately appreciate the assistance that they're engineers and technicians have provided in the newest construction of the BBDB Independence, which I believe is currently docked in TTGI Station, and hopefully will be able to get underway very soon. And with all luck, Cal, you'll be able to join her on her adventures into our sector.
I am not hopeful.
Well, I'll have more hope than you have then. We thank both the Ogmal Syndicate and the Assembled Commonwealth for their announcements today. And with that, I believe, yes, I think Broadcast has said we finally received the updated information from the Tohora Fa'i that we were expecting regarding their exploration efforts in the Y space. It looks like we have an audio report about their most recent exploration. How about we take a listen to that now? Can it be a Mamito Academy facility?
Alhaj the historian double-checks their notes and the data.
Their last known charter was off in the Keicho system, where they trained lenses for focusing their powers. Their techniques and lessons, so many remain lost to time.
They drift off, chewing on a pen. Overhearing Alhaj, Beamish asks,
So, the School of Magic, it just vanished off the map?
They offer a cup of tea to the historian. Half startled,
Why, yes, and with them troves of knowledge and secrets too. But, and I thought that it was just a theory, I believe that their facility is in this system, perhaps on the planet below. A ripple in the fabric of space is causing some of our sensors to give unclear readings, and I feel the bleed is around us, as if an echo of a spell has ruptured reality. There is a strong bleed resonance in this system. It's almost palatable. Perhaps hidden somewhere in these fluctuations, an entrance to the facility can be found. I knew the ship was malfunctioning. No use to let a wild goose chase if we end up crashing into an asteroid with faulty sensors.
Beamish worriedly interrupts.
Let's go before something awful happens. What remains locked inside that hidden facility? It would be quite valuable, you know.
Alhaj the historian interrupts, adding hope to the intrigue.
If that facility even exists. We can't trust the sensors right now. We've got to get away from these fluctuations and fix them.
Beamish shifts, moving to leave for the bridge.
Screw the sensors. I can feel it. The facility must be around here.
Beamish stops in their tracks before they reach the door. They turn back towards Alhaj.
I'm not willing to risk this crew on your blind guess. It's not blind. Let me show you.
Alhaj lets out exasperated. They offer their hand and beckon Beamish back.
Come over here.
Beamish returns to the chair next to Alhaj. The two lock eyes and nod at each other. Grasping the sides of each other's head, they press their foreheads together. As soon as their heads touch, waves of emotion wash over the two Vi. Doubt and concern are met with confidence and certainty as a burst of empathies unites the two. Memories and tales of ships being lost in maelstroms of the void and Alhaj's resonance to this new star system are shared in mere moments, as time feels to slow around them. And with a deep breath, just as quickly as they link together, the two close their eyes and separate. Beamish parts wordlessly, as they had already told Alhaj their plans mere seconds prior. The crew are informed and consulted. The search for the Mamutu Academy begins.
And thank you to the Dahora Fa'i for putting together such an amazing scene to introduce the ruin that they found in the last faction turn. Perhaps they'll be exploring for it in the upcoming one. We'll have to see. But either way, I'll be interested to see what all they find about this location and what all they discover. It was also quite an interesting way to present it with this RP scene read out. Like some feedback from y'all, and either if you have some thoughts about the content, because this is the first time we've sort of tried to put together a scene like this from when it was given to us that way from a faction, to see how you all liked it. Um, And yeah, we'd appreciate that feedback in Discord or the comment section below. With that, though, we have to thank our sponsors. So let's go take another listen to the Kangaroo Court that premieres on BBTV Channel 5.
This week on Kangaroo Court, did slippery celebrity defendant BBTV anchor Elle Calvert conspire to poison the prosecution? Watch now on Kangaroo Court, where good justice is never blind. Fair and balanced, only on BBTV5. Brought to you by the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you.
And thank you to the Children of the Vein for putting together quite an interesting report for us this month. And an additional advertisement to go with it.
It is quite interesting seeing my personal struggles and trials made into celebrity opera, but I am above it. I will not comment.
Past the comments you've just made, I assume. Sounds good. Moving on to our next story today. We have the continuing reports of free agent impacts on the sector as we take a look at this newest report. The Center 0909 sector continues to see rising tensions between mining interest as the already valuable asteroid fields have tripled in value given recent developments. The DAC, Mineral, the Elena Fiafa, along with representatives from other national and corporate interests, have been fiercely competing about not only the boundaries of Tellus, but its claims to orbital bodies. Over the last several weeks, there have been 17 reported incidences of missing and destroyed mining vessels, with little to no evidence of the perpetrators. Earlier this week, an explosion was detected in Quadrant EF Epsilon, where an Elena Fiafa contracted asteroid belt. The explosion was several magnitudes larger than any conventional ship-based weaponry, and the BBTV expert consultant Angelos Deangelos concluded that a likely cause is a ship reactor and critical overload. The Tahora Y nationals, making up the corporation's governing body, declined to comment, citing blast mining as a usual part of their operation. The Elena Fiafa have faced further criticism in recent months as they have declined several requests for an inspection of their flagship vessel, the EF de Gaxa. The TTGI Station Customs and Excise authorities have threatened to inspect the vessel by force if the Elena Fiafa do not submit to their request. And thank you, Kalbrecht, for making me say so many words that I just managed to mispronounce.
No problem. And continuing from previous reports on ascent vessels traveling into the galactic northeast, their exploration has been continually fruitful and successful, finding potentially habitable worlds that have become pleasure tourist destinations, as previously reported with the luxury cruise Teleria and their orbit of Planet Z. The investigation into dubious currency transfers around these events was halted recently thanks to a statement from the auditors, issued from their spokesperson, R.L. Blaine ET. Thanks to a large contribution to our operating funds, we have ceased our investigation at this time. In other news, the Ascent Exploratory Fleet reports the results of their recent Slaymackle tournament. Native Icarosian Guy Gibbet Bordeaux took the grand prize, executing a flawless triple moonslide, culminating the green grommet and blue blah into a Blackwood's Sidation. G. Gibbet, in a surprising move, changed nozzles to a larkspur pattern waver, usually only used when you have a red in depression. This meta-changing move allowed the rotation of the blockheads and finalized the winning score. The runner-up, Jeremy Hammond, remarked that this was utter expletive, and that Slaymackle had become a game of who could afford the best and most equipment rather than individual player skill. We will continue reporting as Jeremy Hammond enters his runners-up match in the losers bracket over the coming days.
And there is a reason why I don't report on the sports and attempt to stick to the local politics. Do you have any idea what was going on at that sporting event, Kalbrick?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's the green grommet, you just gotta impact it, and it didn't have a red in depression, so it is weird to use a waiver over the straight line number 3 pressure gauge. But I mean, you know what they say, the water is water.
Unless you're on, gosh, what is Concord's planet? Unless you're on their planet, right? Then it's different because that's a water planet. I think I'm
Well,
finally
I
starting to
mean,
get some of this.
no one ever beats native Carcaduc. Like it's yeah, it's been several decades, but in this case, it's solid Corrosians. So G Gibbet Bordeaux, who would be minor league on Carcaduc, he took the prize.
Man, and I thought reporting was a profitable investment or endeavor. Regardless, that's been the news across the sector this month. Do you think we have anything else newsworthy to report today?
That's all our reports for this evening, but as usual, we will be back every day with the evening, morning, and afternoon news because I have nothing better to do with my life, unlike Chaz, who is winning awards and winning hearts and minds.
Well, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. With that said, you'll be able to tune in next week, same time, same Twitch channel, for the next Penumbra Agents session, where, man, I don't even remember what's going to happen next week, but we'll be tuning in to see what trouble our agents can get up to as they explore a slightly longer session time than usual. The stream hopefully next week will start between noon and 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it'll run for about 4.5 hours. The session ran a little long. That's coming up to premiere, so it'll be a slightly longer episode than usual, but that'll be cool to see next week what all the agents get up to. If you aren't aware of what that is, that's our Cypher System West Marches style RPG game, where members of our Discord community are welcome to play in, and with their permission, we're able to rebroadcast some of those episodes after they've taken place here on Twitch, and then the VODs go up on YouTube. Anything else to say on that, Kelbrick?
Nope, not at this time.
Sounds great. Well, with that, our upcoming dates to be aware of if you're playing in the Faction Turn game, September 11th will be our next Faction Turn stream. That'll be Faction Turn 12. Imagine that. We'll have a full year of these under our belt at that point. And deadlines are, of course, the 9th and 8th, respectively, for the Faction Turn lock and trade lock. So please make sure you've got all of your stuff submitted by then so that we're ready for the next Faction Turn. The corresponding lore stream for that will take place in September. The final date will be announced in the Discord server afterwards. After this stream, perhaps in the next couple of days, we'll be able to finalize that and get it out to you, but it should be a week or two after the next Faction Turn stream. Other than that, looking forward to October. October 9th will be the 13th Faction Turn, as I'll be out of town on the 2nd, so I will be unable to stream that date, unfortunately. But as usual, those details will get posted in the Faction Turn channels for people to take a look up and keep up to date on. Well, I don't think I have anything else. That's all the dates that I'm aware of that needed to be reminded of while we're here on stream. Again, I guess we thank everyone for their contributions to today's lore stream. Wow, talk about dates for one and confused from what I'm streaming of. But yeah, I think that about wraps things up. Do you have anything else to finish with, Cal?
No, that's everything. Thank you to everyone who watches and contributes to our world. Thank you to everyone who submitted content for today's show. It's always greatly appreciated, the effort that you put in. It's always superb. Thank you very much.
And again, if you're interested in contributing any work, or if you've seen people create cool fan art or stories that are worthy of getting promoted here, make sure you let us know in the Discord. Just reach out, send us a DM of stuff. and we'll confirm it's fine to run on stream. If you're suggesting somebody else's thing for, hey, this was really cool, we'll make sure to confirm with them that they're fine with it coming out. But yeah, we do appreciate all of the cool content that gets put together. With that, though,
Absolutely.
I think we'll sign on off. Throw on over to some nice, cool sci-fi background music, and thank you all for joining us today. And we will see you in about 2 weeks for 3 weeks for the faction turn, and next week for a new free agent session. Thanks for joining us.